What's up? You got your boy Dyreck, AKAI Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. Because today we're going to be talking about the Emu 4 XT Ultra Sampler. What had happened was... So the year is 1994. What you want, 9? Mad beats for my rhymes. What you want, 9? Mad clips for my 9. What you want, 9? An ill posse and my name up in lights saying 9-E. Doom, 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 doom. The music was incredible. We had It's Real, now you know the dealer gets realer. It's real, yeah, you know it's real. We even had Where My Homies, creeping through the hood, where my homies up to no good. Come around my way, come around my way, come around my way. Neighborhood, the music was incredible. But you know who else was incredible? You guessed it, Emu Systems. Coming off a great 8-year run with the SP1200s, they decided to pivot, switch gears a little bit. Their competitors like AKAI was focusing on drum samplers. Roland was focusing on keyboard samplers. But Emu decided to focus on rack samplers. And boy, did they have racks. Just tons of rack samplers Emu was coming out with. But as the years went on, competition got tougher. They always had Korg, Roland, AKAI breathing down their necks. But Emu was blocking them. Emu was blocking them. It's kind of like when a troll gets blocked. You know, somebody will be running a platform and you got little trolls taking shots here and there, and you know the person blocks them. And they tell the troll, go make another account. The troll says, hey, I don't care, I'll make a new account. So the troll goes back, resubmits into the platform, gives them their email address. One second, troll. That email address is already being used. We need another one. So the troll's like, okay. They make another quick email fast, and they submit that email address. They start asking the troll for the first name, the last name, the address. The troll presses submit, and what do they see? Here is a picture of 5 bumblebees. Please select the bumblebees. But regardless of how much Emu was blocking their competition, they were still waiting for the moment. And you know who else was waiting in the cut? Hiding in the bushes? Yup, you got it. Those DAWs. Those creepy little DAWs. Pro Tools, FL Studio, Reasons, Acid Pro. They were all hiding, waiting for their moment to strike. But Emu didn't care. They just kept putting out these rack samplers, like the Emulator 4 rack that came out in 1994, which brought dope things to the table like 128 polyphony. They had the stripped down version E64 rack, which gave you waveform editing. And in 1996, they came out with the E6400 rack, which gave you a dope rack at a discount price, but also gave you the ability to later on expand your rack if you wanted to make it comparable to the flagship rack. That was great. But in 1999, Emu released one of the greatest rack samplers of the time, and even till today. And that is the Emu 4 XT Ultra. You're getting a 48-track sequencer. The sequencer could be quantized during or after record. And it even has different quantized strength and swing type variations. Amazing! You're getting 128 voice polyphony. You're getting a whopping 64 megabytes of RAM. You're getting a 32-part multi-timbrality. They even got a built-in arpeggiator on this thing. You're getting 8 analog outputs, standard, a SCSI port, standard, digital input and output, standard, a world clock, word. You're getting dual 24-bit effects processors, 2 sets of MIDI connections. This thing even has a jukebox-like feature that allows you to play different sequences in order. Wow! You're getting a 240 by 64 custom backlight display. Amazing! You're getting editing features such as cut, copy, paste. You even get an undo on this joint. And ladies and gentlemen, you're getting 21 available filter types. And just not any filters on this thing. You're getting the incredible, legendary Z-Plane filters. Ladies and gentlemen, when EMU Systems released the emulator 4XT Ultra Sampler, some people brought it, but some people didn't. You see, it really wasn't EMU's fault or anything like that everyone didn't just jump at these samplers. You gotta remember, it was still a rack unit, and there's a good number of people that aren't really into rack units. Some folks rather use an AKAI S6000 with a removable faceplate so that it's kind of easier to do their programming on the unit. Or they would rather use a keyboard like the Kurzweil 2000 or the 2500. Or they would just use their old samplers like an old SP1200 and get their job done that way. Rack samplers wasn't for everyone. But oh yes, there was a community that rack samplers were perfect for. You guessed it, the drum and bass jungle community. The cats that did drum and bass and jungle didn't really mind using rack samplers. Matter of fact, a lot of the old AKAI samplers and the old EMU samplers were used to create a lot of hits in the genre. The jungle scene got so popular that Capcom, the creators of Street Fighter, used almost exclusively jungle and drum and bass in their Street Fighter 3 Third Strike edition. The Akuma theme, the Necro theme are amazing. You see, the thing that made programming on these samplers so cool, for especially its genre of music, was it had a lot of great features, like the beat munging feature, which pretty much allowed you to slice a loop into beats. So you can slice a 2-bar loop into like 4 beats, and you can change the programming on like each beat section. So on the first section of the loop, you could pitch it or time stretch it or add swing to it. On the second section of the loop, you can stretch it all the way so that it gives that section a whole new bassy feel. On the third section, you can eliminate the third section altogether, creating a whole new loop. This machine at the time had so many features. It was like they were throwing everything at you. It's kind of like, you know, like when you go to shop for a jacket, you might go to, some hole-in-the-wall leather jacket spot. And, you looked in the window and you saw some nice looking jackets, some Sherlins. So you walk in there and the guy greets you like, "Hey, my friend, how are you today? You looking for a jacket?" And you're like, yeah, I just want a leather jacket. It's getting kind of chilly out there. "Oh, okay, my friend. Here's a nice black leather sent to us straight from Italy just this morning. Try it on. So you try the jacket on and they're like, "Oh, it looks nice. It looks nice on you. You're gonna get a lot of girlfriend. It looks nice on you." So, you look in the mirror and you're like, "Okay, I think this is okay." But you're like, "All right, I might come back for it. I'm gonna just check. Oh, okay, wait. We have another thing. If you get this jacket, you get this hat that comes along with it." And you're like, "Oh, okay, I get a hat with the jacket?" Yes, you get a hat, my friend. And these gloves. You get these gloves with the jacket. And you're like, "I'm okay, though. I'll come back tomorrow and think, oh, wait, my friend. If you get this jacket, you also get part ownership of my store." You like, my friend? You like? And you just run out of the store with nothing. This thing is just too good to be true. I'm getting the hell away from here. Now, some people did have gripes with the machine. Some folks felt the sequencer was not as advanced as they would like it to be. Matter of fact, some people felt the sequencer was really unusable. That's why they were hooking up Ataris or other sequencers to program their music. Another thing was a lot of folks was confused about what was going on, because EMU would release the E4XT Ultra, then they would release a lesser version, the E6400 Ultra. Then later on in the same year, they released the E5000 Ultra. So some folks was wondering, like, what's going on, EMU? You see, just a year ago, EMU Systems combined with Ensoniq, makers of the legendary ASR-10 and the EPS-16 keyboard. Both companies were owned by Creative Technology, and their heads thought it would be a good idea to team these two cats up. So when the E4XT Ultra was released, it was about $3,000, which was a lot of money. But EMU had the E6400 Ultra, which was a lesser version. It only had 64 voices of polyphony, expandable to 128, and it had 16 megabytes, expandable to 128, and that went for $2,300. And if that was too expensive, they had the E5000 Ultra, which came with 64 voices of polyphony, non-expandable, and 4 megabytes of RAM. But that RAM was expandable to 128. I mean, this was real confusing. They even had an eSynth Ultra, which was pretty much like the E6400 Ultra, but you got a ton of ROM sounds with it. But that was kind of EMU's model. They would always have a flagship sampler with the maximum RAM, then they would have another version right under it with, you know, a good size of RAM, but usually expandable to the maximum RAM. And they would have a cheaper, more affordable version with very minimal RAM, but expandable to the maximum RAM. So it was like, you know, pieces of gear for everybody's price range. But even though it could be kind of confusing choosing which one's for you, one thing is for certain: musicians love these things. They're built like a tank. A lot of famous musicians use them. The Chemical Brothers used it on their album Surrender and Come With Us. Bjork used the E4XT Ultra on her album Vespertine. Jean-Michel Jarre used the E4XT Ultra on his album Metamorphosis and Sessions 2000. These things were so great, later on in the year 2000, EMU came out with an E4 Platinum sampler, which pretty much had the ultimate features of all Ultras, giving you 16 analog outputs, and even the highly sought after RFX32 effects mixer card. So yeah, folks, that's the EMU E4XT Ultra Sampler. What had happened was... So this is your boy Dyreck, AKA Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. And I'm signing off.